So what people are doing who are in relationships and they are lonely and they are sad, they are wearing a mask. They are wearing an appearance, because in the mind of somebody, you have an idea of how you want your life to look like. You have an idea of how you want your relationship to look like. Maybe you want it to look like Hollywood. You want it to look like certain celebrities. You want it to look like the idea that you had, the dream you had as a child growing up. So every time you come out in the public or you come out in front of the people, you wear that mask. And you show people, this is how my life is. You take pictures and you post them on Instagram, or on a date or on a road trip with my boo, with my all-time best friend. And that's not the case. Probably went on that road trip 3 years ago or 4 years ago, and now he's not picking your calls or she's not picking your calls. But you've posted on your social media today and saying, oh, enjoying my time with this particular person, which you're not. So you're wearing a mask to portray a certain picture or to give a certain idea of the situation you're in, which you're not, because you've created this idea of how your life should be. So you're not in tune with the reality, because being in tune with the reality is very hard. But when you're alone, when you come to that space where you're by yourself, you cannot be able to wear the mask anymore.
And good evening. Once again, it's Wednesday, the late night edition. You know how we do it. We talk about relationships and matters about the heart. And what a beautiful song to start off the show, being covered by Richie Sachs. That is Dusuma by one and only Otile Brown. So let's get this thing started with Nyokabi. GK, Kamau.
Hello, everybody. Hi, everyone. Yes, I am back. I'm back. Oh my God, where have I been? I have no idea. I have been around the world chasing goose. I have been like a golfer chasing a small tiny ball to put it in a small hole. Anyway, welcome to the Wednesday show. We are on fire. We are light. Today we are talking about what? Relationships with benefits. Early today we are hitting the Leon Wednesday. Today is the day we are talking about these things. Hey, are we friends? Are we friends with benefits? What are these benefits? Today we are diving into that ocean. So are you ready for the show? Let's get started.
Definitely, I'm ready for the show. And for everybody that is joining us, Karibu Sana, because tonight we are talking about the real deal. You know, friendship. We talked about friendship a few weeks ago, and then we brought
Yes.
it to another level. So, Nyokabi, how far have you gone with your friendships? Have you been able to define them? Because I've been able to define quite a few. I don't know about yourself.
Well, Ellie, well, let's just be human. It's hard to define some of these relationships. You find yourself, you're supposed to be in a normal relationship, you're supposed to be a general friend, you're exclusive, you're intimate. Yani, it's so hard to categorize these friends and to know where they are falling, because they always start on the wrong foot. But tonight we are talking about friends with benefit. Today we are going to find out, are you a friend with benefit and you're thinking you're in a romantic relationship with someone? But Eli, sasa hizo without benefit umeweka hapo brag. Kwani unataka kukasirisha mashabiki? Kwani unataka kukasirisha mashabiki? Ati
To-
without,
to- to-
is with benefit, my friend.
Actually, the topic is friends without benefits. That out is very, very an undertone. And you know why? It's because
Uh-huh.
for a long time, Nyokabi, we get into relationships and we believe that all relationships are supposed to be the same. The answer to
Yes.
that is actually no. And especially when it comes to friendships, some of them are overvalued or undervalued. For example, when I mention with benefits, if I had to hide the out in, I would say I love friends with benefits. That is FWB. How about yourself? Do you like or love friends
Yes.
with benefits?
Yes, I love friendships with benefits. They are very good, especially if we understand each other. It's a willing seller, willing buyer scenario, then we are good.
Mm-hmm.
The problem comes
Mm-hmm.
in when the willing buyer is not willing to buy, and the willing
Mm-hmm.
seller is selling, but the buyer hafiki bei. but let shida iko kashida hili iko kashida, but generally if we understand each other, you're a willing buyer, I'm a willing seller, then we are okay. The benefits are there. I'm benefiting, you're benefiting, because it beats the purpose of having a friendship if there are no benefits, right?
Yeah,
If you're
exactly.
just with this person na hakuna value yenye anaongeza kwa life yako, so it's best that
Value gani, value gani. The most
but
important value in Nyokabi.
Eli, wanaume wanasema value ni packaging peke yake, that's the only value, but that's what you're looking for. It's like if you go to the supermarket to buy an orange, what you want is an orange. The only thing
With
it's
seeds,
giving
not.
you is vitamin
Sometimes you
C.
can do away with the seeds, right?
Yes.
So
So
you
is
can
it
you will like your orange, it's juicy, it's puffy, and you want it to. Most of the time, you don't look for the seeds. You just want the pulp of it. Ukiifinya na kakamba ile juice lisikie kitangazwa mahali, unaifinya inafanya machungwa. Hapana mambo ya ndimu.
So whichever, if the benefits are defined, then you're good to go. So the benefits should be defined and should be understood between the two parties. But let's talk about the thing that people are afraid of. Relationships with benefits, and the benefit is it's a sexual relationship in trade of financial benefit. So that's the relationship that everybody is so scared of talking about. A relationship ya watu wazee na mtu young, somebody's husband or somebody's wife. So the relationship is transactional. You pay me, I give you what you want, and you give me what I want, and the story quish. Your mambo inaisha. So that's the relationship.
Exactly. And for me, the thing that I find a bit disgusting, it's when people think you'll walk into a relationship, get everything, and not demand for anything. I mean, what kind of relationship is that? Because you say, yeah, this guy tumiad me, he was just needing me, he was using me. Who's you? You are using each other. It's just that the convenience was different. I mean, Nyokabi, if I find you tonight and I tell you, hey, baridi imenichapa in Nairobi, niko Limuru ninatetemeka. Unaniambia, Eli, uko wapi? Kwambia niko hapa kwa stage. And you tell me, come over. Oh, no. Even let me go back. You say, reverse, baby, pull over. Hey, baby, pull over. Show me your particular, baby, pull over. What will I do? I will pull over. And then we will sort out our issues.
But kuna kutumiana vibaya, Eli. We can't ignore that there are those situations where kuna mwenye anatumia mwingine, and that's why we are saying these benefits. What are they? What are you benefiting from this relationship? If it is a transaction, you give me, I give you, I give you the sexual satisfaction you're looking for, and you give me the financial satisfaction I'm looking for. If it is transactional, understand each other. Come out clear. Hakuna mambo ya mapenzi hapa, hakuna mambo ya feelings, hakuna mambo ati you didn't call me, you didn't text me, ati I looked for you, I didn't find you, or we were supposed to have dinner, you didn't show up. If it is transactional, it is transactional. Na my feelings zikianza develop, because my feelings it doesn't develop too, then change the contract. Amend the contract. Sit back together and say, you know what, this relationship is evolving. You're becoming more than just a booty call, or I'm feeling like you are becoming more than a booty call. Are you feeling the same? So change the contract, amend the understanding together, and say, if it's growing, if it's changing, then let's change. But if it's not changing, it's remaining the same. Like, for example, if somebody is married and he's giving you money, he's paying your rent, he's doing your shopping, my friend, it is transactional.
So ideally, what we've established is when there is marriage involved and there is exchange of finances, hii ni biashara.
It's transactional.
Are you saying tuko Koinange? Are you saying tuko Koinange?
Koinange iko at Joy. Eli, Koinange iko at different levels. We are all in the
twende level yenye tumezoea, twende Sabina Joy na huko chini.
No. We are all in the business of selling and buying. Koinange, you're used to going there. You're meeting a stranger, you hook up, unasikizana ni sombili ama ni 150 ama whatever. Then everything has its own levels. So if you want a more of a girlfriend experience, then of course the experience is going to be different. There's dinner involved, there's eating involved, there's outing involved. It's more of a girlfriend experience. If you want more of companionship, there's that conversation where you're just there cuddling and laughing with each other. The experience is different. So the higher the experience, the more expensive it becomes. Because Koinange is the same na escort ladies hao wenye wanapiganga simu wanakuja dressed up in an elegant way, wearing high heels, eloquent, na akikaa hapo, she looks like she's an ideal girlfriend. The prices cannot be the same. Wale wenye wanapatana, by the way, today I was watching on social media, and there happened to be this interview that was being done by a particular person who is doing a local kind of a show, and he was talking to this lady who does this kind of business. And he was asking this lady, so what is your experience, what normally happens, because the prices that she was talking about was 200 bob. So he was saying with 200 bob hakuna room ya 200 bob. So this mama tells her, yeah, so tunafanya kwa mahindi, we meet, you give me my 200, tunaenda kwa mahindi, tunabalizana, you go. You see, the experiences are different, the benefits are different. But if we are friends and we understand each other and we say, hey, this is what we are doing, this is how we are doing it, then it's a whole different thing, Ellie. It becomes something
Okay.
different, I think.
Interesting that you say that, and that brings
Yes.
me to the question that I would like the viewers to actually engage us in, which is, do you or do we have such a thing as friends with no benefits between a man and a woman? And Nyokabi, I don't know your take, but my take is I don't think we have such friendships. There must be
No,
some strings attached, whichever
there
way
must,
you want to look at
yes.
it.
There is no man who will just give you money, Eli. Ati amekaa tu hivi ameboeka amesema ati let me buy this girl lunch, my
By the
friend.
way, you're making it too attractive, Nyokabi. There is no
What?
man who will just give you shitiach. You
Yes.
might be giving the money in return. Okay, go ahead.
There's a trade somewhere. No man, and I think this foolishness needs to come out of these young girls who are campus. Ati, oh, I was so shocked when he asked me to nini. Like, ati, guy, our relationship is not even my friend. If this guy has been giving you money, that's where it's been going. And if the relationship starts with transaction, the person tells you, oh, shika kula fare or do this or do that, of course, and expect something in return. They're expecting you to come and show up and do your thing. So don't sit there ati kulaing somebody's money there. Unajifanya ati hey, ati he's just a friend. Friend? Whose friend? What's wrong with you? Where's his sister yake? Where's mama yake? And he's sending you money because he's your father. No.
Even your mother, you know that there's something that people don't understand. Even your mother, you know, these mothers, they constantly need to be bribed.
Yes.
Ukienda kwa hiyo boma after such a long trip, and you come and all you say, oh, mom, I've come to visit you. Visit me as you thought I was missing you. No, what I miss is what you're bringing me. So it's still transactional, actually. There are still benefits into it. And that is one thing we need to decipher, that at the end of the day, there is something that has to give in. It doesn't just work like, oh, we are friends. You know, let me give an example that probably will go home to a lot of people is, if I was to come visit you in Nyokabi,
Yes.
and we are meeting up, there is a cost involved.
Yes.
I will have to probably, for your case, we lazima nipande ndege. Wacha nitafute mtu wa Uber. Utanitumia pin kwanza, kitu ya kwanza. Utanitumia pin, mali huko. Hizo ni bundles tayari ushatumia. So that means there's an intention towards that. Even if it's for us to just come and meet and have a good time, the fact is something has to give in. But the problem is we always assume there is nothing. Oh, we are just friends. So what I'm saying tonight is there's nothing like just friends. There is something that goes with it. Tuanzie kwanza mahali tumezoea. Nyokabi, to the question. Can we have a relationship between a man and a woman with no benefits involved? Kindly help me understand that.
I don't think so. Unless it's a relative, unless it's a family member, unless I don't know how unique the relationship has to be. And by the way, Ellie, I used to be one of those women who used to think, oh, this person is just my friend. They have no interest. They have never expressed any interest, because there are men who are slow. They will do things for you and they assume that by the fact that you're doing things for you, you know what they want, which in most cases, as sisi tunakulanga tu fair, we have no problem. You sent fair, we kula, as in it's not a big deal. But ukituma fair tutakula tu, because
Kuna mtu ashaikula fare yangu. By then, to date, she hasn't paid back that fare. Na unajua by then it was very expensive. Alikula 50 bob yangu ya bodaboda. Na mimi nilikuwa nimempangia hesabu, but it's all right. They will pay.
Si hata mimi unitumie fair. Hata mimi
Ningetuma, lakini the terms and conditions do not allow. It's all right. Continue.
So if it has to be a kind of a unique relationship, either it's a parental figure a sibling figure. There has to be a spiritual figure, and even in those scenarios, the relationship kind of evolves into something more deeper and more meaningful. So there is no way that somebody will just be sending you money just because ati amekaa tu hivyo, amekaa hivi, amekaa ako na pesa tu kwa bank, hana kazi ya kufanya nazo, ana decide kukutumia wewe, specifically you. So if he's sending you money, there is an agenda. You just need to know what's that agenda. Once you know that agenda, ask yourself, am I okay with this agenda? Because we are all in the business of selling. By the way, even those people who walk around saying that, oh, me, I don't sell, me, I sell to Kamau properly.
They
He pays my rent.
sell. The only difference is
Food on
one.
my table. He does everything for me. So we are in the business of selling. All of us, including wives of God, we are all in the business of selling. It's just that the level of selling is different.
Different, yeah.
And the relationship is different, and the depth of it is different. So don't sit around saying that, oh, me, I'm not selling, he's not doing this for me. No, it's a give and take kind of a scenario, and a relationship only works well if you give and you take. I give you, you give me. I take, you take. It works better that way, because now it becomes fulfilling. You start meeting my need, I start meeting your need. You start scratching my back, I start scratching your back. And now you start adding value. In the process, you start adding value into that relationship. So if it's a transactional relationship, it's a transactional relationship. Eli wacha tuseme hivyo. Because people keep saying, oh, I know, yali misunderstand. There was no misunderstanding. If it is a transactional relationship, it's a transactional relationship. If the person only calls you on Friday night, uko wapi? Niko kwa club fulani, kuja. Anakutumia pesa yangu, my friend, that is a booty call. If somebody is calling you at
no. Things have changed. Kanairo has evolved. Thank you to the high rate of consumption. Ya nini? Fair. Unatuma pin. Kama utumi pin, kanayo. Unatuma pin.
Ama ukiingia Uber unatuma location, track my ETA, I'll be where you are in ETA. Utalipa Uber. But ukituma fare early, we have to eat the fare if you send it, by the way. If you send fare, ladies, simwambia watu. Ukituma fare tutakula tu.
It's okay. For now, let's agree on that we can accept under some conditions. But as it is, man, this is your moment. Do not, I repeat, with a big capital, do not engage in fair transactions. Mtu akitaka kukuja, mwambie kutumie pin. Na ukiona hiyo pin iko na Ivasha, sahau. Especially kama imetoka na Githurai. Let's go to the comment section after this. But before we do that, Nyokabi, let's take a short break. When we come back, we want to redefine friends with benefits. Because I'm really interested where the benefits come into play. For everyone else watching, remember to share the cast, invite a friend, and more importantly, you can equally share on your wall. We'll be right back after this break.
Hello, my loves. This is Victoria Nkata from Responding to Life. First and foremost, I'd love to thank each and everyone who has been supportive of Responding to Life ever since we began our work. See you on the internet waves.
And yes, welcome back. We are here with Nyokabi, GK Kamau, Mama Mwatapia mbaya sana. And of course, Likuyani Eli. You can follow the conversation with the hashtag @responding to love marriage connect. And Nyokabi wants to define herself. Nyokabi.
Stop. Wacha kuniharibia jina Eli ati Nyokabi wa tabia mbaya.
Okay, Nyokabi wa tabia mzuri. Sasa tufunze watu tabia mzuri basi. Tumetoka kwa ile mbaya. Wacha tusome comments haraka. Comment section all the way from down up. We have Norina Mbata. Soma Nyokabi.
There is someone that I know, he never sends fare. He, huyo wachana. Guy Norin, jipatie shughuli. Hakuna fare. Yeah. Hata I'm even stuck there. I can't even read the rest. Eli, you have to read the rest. That is it. Yeah.
Dem
Hakuna fare.
akimuuliza fare, he says, simama hapo, natuma mtu wangu wa ndudhi akulete. Clearly, wanapeleka operation, rudi nyumbani. We have Zena Hussein who says, before you take his money, please ask him if it's just a gift or a prepayment. Na mimi napenda hiyo. Kuna mtu juzi tu. Kuna mtu juzi tu.
Prepayment ati a gift. Unapewa gift kwa nini?
Kuna mtu juzi amejilipia mahari mahali. Nasikia Nyokabi. Kuna mtu juzi amejilipia mahari.
Akasema aje anajilipia mahari. Hey, we saying a gift. Okay, let's continue. What was a gift?
Wanasema na kiproroda Nyokabi tuma pin mahali uko.
Right away,
Rakesh Gandhi. Rakesh Gandhi, thank you for joining. You know, some of these emojis cannot be seen on this platform that we run, but thank you so much for engaging us. Kuna watu wameanza uchokozi, but who am I? Nitasoma tu kwa sababu lazima tusome. Sio uko na pesa ya kuharibu. Send fare pia. Friends without benefits. Hapana, hiyo hatujui. It's either you're benefiting or nothing.
Uko na wewe, hata mimi nataka nitumiwe hiyo fare. Please, nitumiwe tu. My pesa is working. Ebu try and see whether it's working.
Oh, actually, Gaddafi says that I think this stuff should be transactional like GK is saying, because women, sex is like food. You eat, ukisikia njaa, and forget about kila mtu ajipange. Okay, those are his words. I have no disclaimer. Whatever people are saying, that's what they are saying. Go ahead.
Wycliffe, this is the first time I have had a man tell me that sex is like food to them. And I think women need to hear this very loudly. Sex is like food to them. It's not emotional. It's not intimacy. It's not anything. It's just like you walk into a different hotel every time and you eat food. I think it's the same experience for men. But men who look at sex as food are people who don't really know the art of lovemaking. These are people who just ejaculate. Ni kumwaga tu.
Kumwaga mkuku kwa mtama kwa kuku wengi. But now, Sarah and Jonjo, thank you so much. Welcome to the channel and the show equally. I'm interested in this one here by Kipro. She says, responding to life, it depends on what benefits. I have good male friends with benefits, and I want to understand that part. Good male friends. Mwanamke na mwanaume watakuwaje marafiki na hakuna kitu hapo?
But it's possible. Eli, you and I, we are friends. Kuna kitu hapo.
You
know, it's so strange.
Okay, wewe ndio umesema hakuna, mimi iko. I'll tell you what next after this. Usikuwa umefikia tu na hapo tunaongeleshana tukichekeshana. JK Kamau hakuna. But why take him to Jerusalem, yet you know well that he doesn't love you and you don't love him? In fact, you know well that he will never marry you. Unapeana tu. Why now? Wewe nani Zena, wewe unaishi nchi gani? Come back to work.
Come back to work. Unalipua rent, unafanywa shopping, unawekewa gari mafuta na unapewa fare. That's why you're doing it. Because you're getting something out of it. And these are the benefits we are talking about, my friend. See, let's see like emotions.
Emotions, you can sell them for your mama. Na Sarah's put it inaitwa Kanairo. This is Kanairo. You know, nowadays they ask you, are you in a relationship ama wewe kwako ni Kanairo?
Unasema ni Kanairo. Ni Kanairo.
Willing buyer, willing seller.
Ni Kanairo.
Yeah, okay, fine. Those are just but a few I would like to sample for now, but let's see what Jackson says here. Jackson says, Aki, sijawahi tumiwa hiyo fare Nyokabi. Na nasikianga ni tamu sana. Maybe juu mi usema hebu tuma prefer kwanza tuone kama itawaka, alafu I'm ghosted. Wewe cheza kama wewe. Lugha yako ndio shida. Let's see what Njekita says. If someone gives you money, take it and be honest. If you're not interested, just say, he will know. That is not money. That it's not money that only thing to be in a relationship. Huyu by that anaota.
But you see, we are not talking about Kate.
Kita,
We are not talking
Kita,
about
yeah.
building a relationship. We are not building a relationship here. We are talking about friendship with benefit. There is no relationship. It's an understanding. It's not a romantic relationship. It's not leading to engagement. It's not going anywhere. It is you scratch my back, I scratch your back, story ishe. Tofauti ni hii, haiko Sabina Joy, iko kwa nyumba ama iko kwa mkahawa mahali. That's the difference.
Hey, you know,
Ukweli.
somebody has decided to change the conversation, but I would love to actually have this on screen for the sake of it. Kipro says, Sasa nita agree or disagree. I have a very good friend with benefits. It depends on how you define it. Good example is having a very close friend who took their time to come visit us just because he was concerned about our well-being. Case closed.
You must
Now,
be very special. You must be very special for me nitoke kwenye nimetoka nimekuja just to visit you because I'm concerned of your well-being. You are blind. You are blind. Love is right in front of you. You can't see it.
Nyokabi,
How
you
did
are
you like
doing
it?
that thing.
Today is
Unachoma.
Wednesday.
Now,
Today is Wednesday. Ati Eli, nimetoka hapa Kenya, nimelipa ndege, nimefly all the way, nimekuja huko kwenyu, ati nimekuja just to see how your well-being.
si uko holiday. Now you know. But anyway, Nyokabi, that's where I want to pick the conversation from.
Yes.
Do you believe that beyond the sexual flings that people have and the strings attached to them, actually, we should have friendships with benefits? And why
Absolutely.
should we have such?
I believe that you shouldn't have a relationship that doesn't have any benefits. If you're in a relationship that is not adding value into your life, it becomes frustrating, it becomes depressing, it becomes overwhelming, it is consuming, it drains you emotionally, physically, financially, it drains you in every way possible there is. And I want to illustrate a relationship that is not beneficial and a relationship that is beneficial, because beneficial is not necessarily financial. Beneficial can be other ways. There can be other ways that you can benefit from a relationship other than financial interaction. Now, you can have a friend in your life who this friend is always calling you when they're in trouble, when they need something. Oh, my house is being locked. Oh, I have not paid school fees. Like that, they didn't know they have a child and at some point they require to pay school fees. Like they didn't know that they live in that house and at some point they need to pay rent for that house. They get surprised when their needs happen. You have that kind of friend who always places their needs on you and enforces them on you. That is a relationship that's not benefiting you, but it's benefiting them. It's beneficial to them, but it's not beneficial to you as a person. You have that friend who you sit with, and when you're having a conversation with them, they exhaust you. They are always talking about, oh, like now, these wives of goat, they are always talking about, oh, my husband sijui alifanya nini, my husband sijui ali they're always talking about negativity. They are so negative about life, they're so negative about work, they're so everything is a negativity, everything is an insult to them, everyone is out to get them. Yani, they are exhausting to have conversations with. They don't bring life into you. So there are different levels of benefits that somebody can bring into your life, and their levels of draining also occur differently. They can drain you financially, they can drain you emotionally, they can drain you spiritually, they can drain you intellectually. I don't know whether you have ever had a conversation with someone that every time they're always asking you, who's that? You always have to explain to them the knowledge behind what you're talking about. They are never really up to date. They never know what's happening. You always have to explain to them. You start them from zero all the way to the point now they're like, oh, they are exhausting intellectually. There are those people who see the end of the world. Whenever akitoka hapa aende town, huyo mtu wa driver hapo anaendesha gari vizuri, nilikuwa nataka kukaa hapo mbele, mtu mwingine akakuja akaruka. Yani, everything is always working against them. It's exhausting. They're emotionally exhausting. So what benefit is that relationship that you're in bringing into your life? What value do you sit with this person and you have a conversation with them and they build you? Their interaction is meaningful. The conversation is building, is encouraging, is lifting. It challenges you. You sit there with somebody and they start talking about business and you're thinking, oh, so why had I thought about business like that? You sit with them and they encourage you spiritually. You are thinking about giving up on God and they give you an idea and they tell you, have you thought about talking to your reverend or to your pastor about this? Have you thought about finding a prayer partner to pray with about this? Somebody who adds value into your life. Do you have a friend who you can call and tell, hey, I'm in a ditch, pull me out? And they'll come through for you, because next time when you need them to come through, then they will come through. When you need to come through, then you will come through. These are the benefits we are talking about. So you cannot have friendship that is not beneficial. And these are some of the reasons, some of the major causes of divorce and separation in relationships. These are some of the major separation issues, the separation anxiety that happens between friends who have been friends for a long time. Mtu anafika tu mahali anasema, mimi so and so, I don't know what it is, I can't put my hand on it, but I'm done with that relationship. You find a person who is having an affair outside there, ukimuuliza, why are you having an affair? This person gets me. And you're wondering, what do you mean by this person gets you? They don't drain you. They don't drain you emotionally. They don't drain you intellectually. They don't drain you financially. You're able to interact at the same level. It is exhausting, by the way, to deal with somebody who isn't bringing any value of any kind into your life, and it's quite frustrating. It's something. So friendships need to be beneficial. So I want to know, friendship is beneficial. How is it beneficial, Eli? You are just nodding there. Ambia watu juu ulisema hapa kuko na strings, wajue, tangaza msimamo.
Well, and I believe that you have actually laid the foundation of the discussion when we come about, to matters benefiting. Like you rightfully put it in your Nyokabi,
yes,
we will have a couple of friends that you bring into your circle, and by the time you're done with them, it's like you had the worst of your ear, and you've just been with them for half an hour. But there are those friends that you are parting ways, and you still want to continue those conversations. So the kind of friendship I've developed with you, and that's why I said there are some things attached to it, it's we can share much knowledge about issues that are affecting our relationships at a deep level. It is not just starting and ending with sex like a lot of people will want to believe. Number two, if I was to choose a friend, then I want a friend that complements that which I do not have.
Yeah, true.
Most of the time, we choose friends and then we ask ourselves, but what is wrong with me? Why am I not succeeding? If you look around yourself, let's say you have 5 friends. They say, if you have 5 friends in your circle, at least do not be the one that is always in need. Be the one that is always able to give, or to actually give a helping hand. And I'm not talking about financially or financial matters in this case. I'm talking holistically, because we have those friends that they are always crying from January to December about this issue, about that issue. Along the way, you cave in and become just like them. No wonder somebody said, show me your friends, and I tell
who you are.
Yes. So friends really have to be of benefits. And the benefits should range from intellectual to others, not just when there is sex and flings involved. If your friends, all you can discuss about from morning to evening is sex, you have a problem. You have a serious problem. But if you have a friend, you can call up and you say, I'm making this research. I would like for you to look into A, B, C, D. That's a valuable friend. That is a valuable friend. The other type of friend that I would like for all of us to actually be able to adapt and walk into, we need to have friends that will call you out when you are on the wrong.
Yep.
We have this type of friends that will always pat your back, not because you are doing good, but because there is something in for them. And most likely it's the financial. As long as you provide the money, they will look the other side and you can go to Sin City as much as you want. They do not care. Those are dangerous friends. And if you have friends that constantly agree with everything you say, and they will not challenge your ideologies, they will never challenge your decisions and reasons behind doing A, B, C, D. Those are dangerous friends. They include your family. And most likely, most of the time it happens in Nyokabi that if you come in from a family that you are one of them that is well off than the rest, whatever nonsense you do, they just take it in.
Yep.
But the day that you discover you have no much to give, then they will tell you you've been a fool all these years. Wewe unapesaidiaga watu pesa na ujajenga nyumba. Then you're like, oh, so those kind of friends are not friends of benefit. So what am I telling you, Nyokabi, and what are we discussing tonight is ideally your friendships should be friends with benefits. Do not limit yourself to the sexual part of it.
Yes.
Expound your mind such that you are able to converse with people on other matters. And if the only thing that your girlfriend or your boyfriend can offer you is what is between their legs and not between their ears, flee from that relationship. That's my 2 cents.
It's not beneficial unless the packaging is insane. Unless it relieves your stress, and when you live there, your body feels, you sleep like a baby. That's the only time you can tolerate that kind of a friendship.
But eventually,
Because
you grow, the sex
anyway,
grow old.
you can't dismiss the sex thing, because there's some people who, finding somebody who you're sexually compatible is very hard. And most of the times when you find somebody who you're sexually compatible with, you're not compatible in any other way. You can't be intellectual, you can't be social, you can't be spiritual, you can't be any other way with this person. So you're just compatible sexually. So if you have that friend who you're compatible sexually, akilima shamba analima shamba vizuri, anatoa weed, ukitoka hapo you're happy for the next 1 month. Why not? I mean, this relationship is about having relationships at different levels, but then again, it depends on your status. If you're married and packaging yako haiko mzuri, you just live with it. You made a decision, live with it. The decisions that you make the decisions that you make, they matter. So what are we saying about friends with or without benefits, Ellie? We are saying that we need to understand the levels of friendships, and you need to categorize this person at the level they are at, and do not let this person cross a particular line. Do not become familiar with somebody and start watering down the friendship, or turning malls into mountains of things that are neither here nor there. Once you understand the relationship where it's at, work with it at where it is. And Ellie, to bring this home, I want to talk about the side chick and the wife. When you're a side chick, you're a side chick. Whether you've been with this person for 10 years or 15 years, understand the relationship. Whether you give birth with this person or not, you will always be the other woman. Whether he leaves his wife and comes to shipping with you, you will always be the other woman. So it's about understanding where the relationship is at. You will always be the second wife. There is no any point you will ever be the first wife. Whether you fight, you throw tantrums, whether you steal the person away. And that's the point about relationships. If you're just a sexual partner to somebody, that is who you will always be. And it's very dangerous to evolve that kind of a relationship into a more deeper relationship. Like now, for example, you're sexual partners with somebody, you get to a place, you get pregnant, and then you start living together and you start turning that into a family. It's very difficult, because the person had not seen you as a wife, the person had not seen you as the mother of their children. It is circumstance and situation that have put them there. It is not the desire to be in that place with you. It is the circumstance, it is the situation. So it's always good, especially as women. And I talk to women a lot, because women are the ones who misunderstand relationships. We are the ones who build castles on sand. We are the ones who get married to somebody just because amekusalimia na amekwambia they think you're beautiful, and there you wear your wedding gown and your veil and you're walking down the aisle just because somebody has said hi to you. Calm down.
Easy
Wait.
ovaries.
Yes, relax, take a deep breath. I mean, take a chill pill. Calm down, calm your nerves. Wait for the relationship to evolve into something. And then the other thing about this relationship is to understand this person that you're engaging in this type of a relationship with. Who are they? Where are they at in life? Are they single? Are they available for the relationship you're looking for? Have they told you, I want to see where this goes? The minute somebody tells you, I want to see where this goes, they're not interested in a relationship beyond that. Because if they were interested in a relationship beyond that, they would not say something like that to you. It's good to read between the lines. It's good to understand what somebody is doing. If they text you only when they need something from you, and this applies even to girlfriends. Earlier I used to have a girlfriend of mine, and I want to share this story because of understanding friends with benefits. And this friend of mine, whenever we would meet and we would sit with her somewhere, and we are having a cup of tea, because I like to hang out with my girlfriends and have a cup of tea. I have very few. So the ones that I have, I like to catch up with them when I get the chance. So we are sitting there and we are having a cup of coffee. And I realized one time I was going through a very difficult time. You know, that time that you want to talk to your friend and you want to be the one who is venting out, who lets out. And in fact, by then when I was going, I was so ready to cry and deal with whatever I was dealing with. And I got there. And this friend of mine started talking about herself. So when I started the conversation, I said, "Oh, you know, this is what I'm going through." Immediately she picked it up and then she made it about her. She talked about her. And I was sitting there for an hour, 30 minutes, and I said, "What am I doing?" I wasn't coming for every time we sit with you. You're always talking about yourself. You're always looking for advice. You're always looking for, you never give me, you are not my friend. I am the one who is your friend. So this relationship is one way. And for me, I can't do a one-way relationship. And you know, by the way, when the reality hit me, I remember I was sitting, we had carpooled to go to where we were going. I remember I told her, "Please take me back to where we parked my cars because I need to go home. I have an emergency. I need to go home." And when I went home, this person, I never called them. I never went out with them again because I realized the relationship is one way. These benefits have to be two-way. You give, I give. You receive, I receive. And part of the reason why marriages are so frustrating is that state of friends without benefit. The person feels like they're not benefiting from being married to you. They keep wondering what value do you add into their lives. If it is financial, if the person is complaining, "I am always the one who's taking care of you, I pay the rent, I do this," step up. Go get a job and start contributing. That small amount will make a lot of difference. If the person says, "Oh, every time you open your mouth, you just want to talk about this and that," develop your intellect. If the person says, "Oh, every time you're always crying and whining about life," develop your emotional intelligence. I mean, grow from where you are and begin to bring in the benefit aspect into that relationship, especially relationships that are long term or lifelong, such as romantic relationships, marriages, parent to child, child to parent, sibling to sibling, those kind of relationships that are not dying, that are not going anywhere. Now, when it comes to relationships without benefits, those are toxic relationships because they're not bringing any value to you. They are draining and taking from you. You need to walk away from such relationships. And no, people ask, "Okay, so it's my parent. How do I walk away from my parent?" Even parents can be toxic. And if a relationship is not beneficial and is not healthy, walk away from it. Work with them at an arm's length. I always say, if a relationship is toxic and it's a parent, it's a sibling, stretch your hand like this. Do not let that person come beyond that point. Don't let them cross that line of arm's length. Always work with them at an arm's length level, where they approach you when it is necessary, when you need to do something necessary, then you work with it like that. So every relationship, before we get those questions early, because we will get them on inbox, should every relationship be beneficial? Every relationship should be beneficial.
Yeah.
And the relationship between you and your parent is a relationship, and it has the potential of being toxic. A relationship between spouses is a relationship, and it has to be beneficial. It cannot be one-sided. Both parties have to play their part. You do your part, Ellie, I do my part. Then the relationship becomes conducive and it grows and it blossoms because you're meeting my need and I'm meeting your need. I don't know whether it's making sense, because when you talk about friendships with benefits, I know earlier I sent you a clip of someone who decided to chat me on Facebook,
Mm.
and I
Mm.
was very shocked
And
at
then
this
you
young.
slide kwa inbox. I'm having a field day. And then
And this man sends me a list of the levels of friendship, and he tells me, "Choose the level you want to be in a relationship with me." I found that to be very interesting. The problem that I had with that conversation, Ellie, was that this person was telling me at the beginning of the relationship. But if it's somebody who I had interacted with for a while, we had moved from acquaintance to general friends, and he sent me this list and tell me, "You know what, Nyokabi, I want you to pick the level you want to be with me." I think I would have admired that. I would have appreciated that. It would have given me a minute to go back and think, what kind of a friendship do I want with this person? Do I want to be a general friend? Do I want to be a booty call? Do I want to be a packaging partner? What am I looking for with this person? And from there, I can tell him, "Hey, let's just be friends. Let's stick in the category of general friends. Maybe with time, The relationship can grow into an intimate friend, and I can introduce you to my family. You can get to know my children, you can get to know my husband, you can get to know my mother, you can get to know as the relationship evolves. But it's good to know where the relationship is at. Because if you don't know where the relationship is at, you will ask for more benefits than you deserve. Eli, can you imagine? Haya ndio wale mademu wenye mnatumianga fare, wewe una expect ni packaging na huyu anajua you're just being nice. The relationship is not at the same level.
Let's agree on one thing. Let's agree on one thing.
What?
When it comes to fair, there is nothing about being friendly. We have to define that very clearly. Oh, niaje Eli poa. Mazee, you know, niko Nairobi. I would like to go to Mombasa. Uko Mombasa, eh. Mazee, sunitumie fair. Mimi nikikutumia fair ninajua unakuja na kanatamba. Noreen is asking in the comment section, what do you make of these girlfriends that actually wait and then they ask you on a Friday, niaje kuna happen aje leo? Could you address that? I know you've actually addressed that before, but can you kindly repeat and make it sink home?
I've said, I think I've answered that question just now when I was talking about the levels of friendship. Every friendship has its own level. And there's a time I had done a very profound post when I said, understand your level of friendship. If Eli, I go through a difficult time and I don't involve you, I don't call you and tell you, hey, Eli, I lost somebody close to me and I'm attending to this burial. When I bring you to that level, it means you're an intimate friend. I expect you to respond. But people take advantage of that and they start asking for money. Oh, pesa burial, pesa burial. People cross the lines. If you're a business partner and I call you and I tell you, oh, I need money to do this type of business. You see, levels of friendship is how you interact. That's how you identify your levels of friendship. If somebody calls you only on Friday, mpango ni gani? Because even me, I have those friends who I know, they always know where it's happening, what time it's happening, who is happening, you know, and me, I don't. So I have those friends who I ask, leo ni za wapi, muko wapi, and that's it. Because they are out partners. We go there, we skiza music, we dance the whole night through, and kila mtu anaenda kwake, and the story ends. We'll catch up again 2-3 months again when I need to go out. So if this is the kind of person who you're interacting with, that is a social friend. You're just social friends, and by the way, you fall under general friends or acquaintances. You're acquainted with each other. You don't mind hanging around each other. We have the same friends, but there is no deeper relationship than that. That is exactly what it is. And whether there's packaging or not, that is a general relationship. Haiko deeper than that.
Nyokabi, there's one thing that I like, Victor, and of course, Victor, here you are allowed to use the language. No worry, it's a Wednesday. Sometimes we can allow some words. And he says, if we are friends, let it be so. Don't add any other thing on it.
Yes.
If you break the friendship code, I walk away. I would really love for Victor to come back and say, what code are you talking about? Okay, fine. There is here, Zena says, I used to keep friends, shared whatever I had until the day nilisota nikaomba 300 bob. Aki chenye an alinijibu. Hey, I once laughed to me like 1,000 times. Uko na ujinga sana, wewe Zena. Kazi yako, unajifanya uko na pesa, na ukisota, mimi ndio unanitafuta. Wewe ni rafiki wa aina gani? Shati sana. Allah! That is what they did to Kamwanika. So those are the kind of friends some of us are hanging out with. There's a comment that I would like to come to it later on, Nyokabi. Let's just go to Wycliffe and find out what he's saying. And Nyokabi, when I send you transport, only one thing should ring in your mind. If you are not a business partner or my relative, period.
I appreciate the honesty, Wycliffe. I appreciate the honesty. But ukituma fare nitakula tu. Don't worry. You send. Yeah, namba iko hapo. Eli atakwambia at the end of the show. Just send.
I know we are almost out of time, and this is a point that I would like for us to actually come into Nyokabi, because it's interesting. Meanwhile, I'm waiting. I hope Vicky Yator is still there, because I would like for him to define what is this that he calls,
code.
The breaking of the code. But let's sink into this, Nyokabi. And it says from Jakita, she says, it's rare to have true friends. You might have only one or two which you can count on. Generally, you know each other from long time ago, see each other of relation in life. The rest are just acquaintances. Nyokabi, what do you make of that?
I agree with you. It is not possible, Eric, to have more than 5 friends who are true. Ideally, you should have 3 friends. But I
Mm,
also recently I learned from a lawyer friend of mine that you need uh different types of friends, and I'm going to classify them so that
mm,
you need a friend who is a lawyer so they can advise you on legal matters. Whenever you want to make a legal decision, you need a friend who is a lawyer. Whenever you want to
mm,
buy something, you need a friend who is a lawyer who can tell you, have you done your due diligence? Have you done your survey? Have you found out that who is the owner of the mother title of that property you want to buy? So
yeah.
it is important to have this category of friends. And the reason why you need a lawyer as a friend is that you get to consult for free. So you need a
Mm,
lawyer who is a friend, and I'm going to put quotes in it. Number two, you need a friend who is a doctor. So that as we are sitting here, Ellie, I can tell you, and my shoulder is paining here. And they can tell you,
mm,
try and take this pill and see whether it's going to help you. If it doesn't,
mm,
see a doctor. So you need a friend, and these are the values and the benefits you're talking about that a friend should bring into your life. So you need a friend who is a doctor. Number three, you need a friend who is a minister or a person who understands the gospel or somebody who understands the relationships about spirituality, so that whenever you have an item that you need to pray about, whenever you need you need a spiritual guidance, you can run to this person and this person can walk with you at that point. But you see,
mm,
these are people who you can know generally. Eli, I can know a lawyer, like I know a lawyer. I always, whenever I want to consult him on something matters law, I tell him I'm back, because unless I want something to consult him on something matters law, I barely talk to him. But he is my friend, and we communicate and we understand each other. When he has a general function, he will invite me. But I don't know most of the things that are happening in his life. I don't know how many children he has. I don't know how many wives he has. Right?
mm,
But we are friends. You need a friend that can challenge you. You need a friend who is above you. That's the person who challenges you. You need to work with people who are ahead of you in life. And what I mean by people who are ahead of you in life, you need a friend who, if you're in the business industry, you need somebody who has mastered the art of business and
yeah.
you can see it. They are not living on loans. They are not living a life that they can't afford. They are people who actually know how to work with their hands and generate and make money. You need that set of friends who are older than you, because they'll always see further than where you can see. You need a friend who is your age mate, who you can do nonsense with. There are times that you just need to go to a club and let things loose. You
Mm,
can't do that with somebody who is older than you, right? You need a friend who calls you in your circle of friends. You need a friend who calls out your bullshit. There's
yeah.
always that one friend who will tell you, Wacheni ujinga. What are you fighting about? You need a friend of that nature. So when you're looking at friends and you're looking at true friends, ask yourself, what am I looking for as a person? What value would this person bring into my life? What is the thing that is the most important thing to me? If it is
Mm,
matter spiritual, ensure that among those 2, 3 friends, there is that friend who clicks that button of spirituality. If it is a matter family, ensure that there is that one person who loves and values family and works hard towards growing a family. If it is matters business, ensure you have that one friend who has mastered the art of business and challenges you and helps you to grow and works with you. And you
yeah.
can always tell a true friend from a fake friend. It is so easy. You know, people sit there and say, oh, you can't tell friends. You can always tell a true friend from a fake friend by the way they carry themselves, the way they
Mhm,
celebrate you, the way they challenge you. Somebody who comes out and tells you, Nyokabi, your hairstyle, you know, you do a lot of hairstyles, but that one, Aki, hey,
mm, mhm,
you I don't know what you had in mind, but and they're not telling you that out of malice. And they're not telling
mhm,
you that to take away from you. They are also the same friend who will come and tell you, now that is working for you. Now that looks fantastic on you. Now that looks
mhm,
good on you. You know, they are also the same person who will come out and tell you the truth. It's very important to have a friend who tells you the truth. I think for me, Ellie, if you're my friend and you lie to me, I think for me that just closes that door of friendship. Because if you're
yeah.
lying, then it means we can't be honest with each other. I feel the honest aspect of a relationship is very important. If you've done something, acknowledge I have done something, it was wrong. I apologize. We move on from there. You know, for me, I'm the kind of person, if I call you twice and you don't pick, I know you're ignoring me. And you can't convince me you're not ignoring me.
Yeah.
right? So I'll confront you and tell you, why are you ignoring me? And you tell me, oh, I wasn't ignoring you, I was busy. And I'm like, bullshit. Why are you ignoring me? Do you want to change the relationship? Do you not want to talk to me? Let me know where we stand so that I can move on. Don't keep me there. And by the way, if you refuse to tell me the truth, I'm done with that relationship. Ati nimekupigia simu mara mbili Eli, nimekutumia message, umekaa siku 3 siku 4 hujarudisha. Yani wewe you're so busy. From
Lakini
morning
uko
to night.
online, lakini uko online. And I want to tell that to my girlfriend. Wache mchezo. Hiyo ujinga ikupeleke mahali popote.
Eli unatumia @heart vibaya. @heart si hapa kutumia message zako kwa girlfriend yako. Aki huyu Mkenya msupa. Aki calling me, we need to have a counseling session.
Nyokabi, there's one type of friend that
Yes.
you need not to have.
Yes.
The type of friend that will
Thank you.
tell you things that are sweet in front of your face
Yes.
and go behind your face and tell
And tell you.
everything wrong about you.
Yes. Yes.
That type of friend that knows the deeper thing about you and your personal life
Yes.
and decide to use those same things that you shared in
Yes.
privacy and confidentiality to others.
Yes.
How
And by
kwa
the way,
Kiswahili wanaitwa kidudu mtu.
and let me tell you, Ellie, how do you know that you have that type of a friend? If she's telling you about other people, she's definitely telling other people about you. You're not special, you're not exceptional. Kama anapita nakwambia, guy, unajua Nyokabi aliniambia jana alichapwa na bwana yake, my friend. Whatever
Na
you
wewe
tell
kitu ulifanya hukumwambia the last part of that sentence, ulimwambia tu nilichapwa na bwana yangu. Kitu hukumwambia ni fimbo.
Kenye utamwambia ataambia mtu mwingine. So you need somebody who is able to keep that confidence of their friendship. And the way I test my friends is like that. If we have common friends, I always observe how you talk about the friends we have in common. You know, you are so and so was telling me, and I'm like, okay. Sa hizo kahawa utakuwa unaenda peke yako. By the way, your relationship.
Or they
And
come,
me, I
they
don't
tell
even
you.
bother telling you, I'm done.
They come tell you, oh, unajua hata huyu boyfriend yako, by the way, he's not that special. Anyway,
You know,
let's have this discussion again next week, Nyokabi. I mean, I've loved and enjoyed this show. I hope you did. Any final thoughts as we close down on Friends with Benefits?
Oh, Ambata amesema, Aki Eli, my love, I am sorry. She promises to change herself. She's going to be responding. She has confessed. She's going to change from today. Ameacha kuignore.
Aya. Na
Labda ni fair
mswahili wa
ukweli ya
maneno.
kupita.
Mtu wa mwenye anapenda kunifurahisha hapa na mistari anaitwa Zena says, Eli, yule rafiki yako wa dhati anaye rafiki yake wa dhati ambaye si rafiki yako wa dhati. I don't know if you understood that. I will help you
Really?
out. You know, that
Yes.
best friend that you think is your best friend has
Yes.
their own best friend that is not your best friend.
They
So
should talk
as we
about
said,
their own best friendship. They should talk about their own best friendships outside of our friendship.
but all said and done, if you have 5 of them that you can put into these fingers and count, then you're one lucky human being. Having
And
said
kind
that,
of
Nyokabi,
what category they fall at, you're very lucky.
yes,
Aki,
yes.
you're great. We salute you.
Okay. Great. So,
What-
Nyokabi, time is really
Eh.
not on our end. If you
Aki,
would
tumemaliza.
love to be in contact with Nyokabi, GK Kamau, you know the drill. Find her every social media page.
Wycliffe,
That is
wacha.
Nyokabi, GK Kamau.
Wycliffe, ndio hiyo namba hapo, hebu tuma fare. Hebu acha Wycliffe atume fare.
Nyokabi atakula fare yako na hautakula fare yake.
Na fork na kijiko na kisu.
Nyokabi, we are out of time. We must go. Guys, get in touch with Nyokabi GK Kamau on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn. That is Nyokabi GK Kamau +2547808109887. You can always reach us here on the Arts in Heart with the following details that will come to your screen. Hashtag Art in Heart responding to life. And of course, now you can add it onto your hashtag marriage Connect Kenya, where we'll be linking up with Nyokabi. GK. Kamau. Remember, the email address is theartsinheart@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. The handle is The Arts in Heart. Until next time, it has been a pleasure hosting you for the 1 hour and 3 minutes that are past us. See you next time next week. The drill is, as always, on The Arts in Heart every single Wednesday, every single Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Tuesday. Until next time, my name is Likuyani Eli, and that is Nyokabi GK Kamau. We are out. Na tumeenda.
Hivyo tu.